Hey there, and welcome. So let's talk about morning routines. We've all got them, right? And for a lot of us, they're built on advice we've heard a million times. Today, we're going to dig into one of the biggest pieces of wellness advice out there and uncover why it might be the secret reason you're still feeling so tired.
Okay, does this sound familiar to you? You wake up, you drag yourself to the kitchen, and you dutifully chug a huge glass of water. You're expecting to feel awesome, refreshed, energized, but nope, an hour later, that same old brain fog and fatigue hits you. If that's you, you're not alone, and we're about to find out why. I mean, this whole idea has become a universal morning ritual. The advice to start your day with water is literally everywhere. It's sold to us as the absolute first step to a healthy day. We've all seen some version of this quote, right? And it sounds so logical. Of course, you've been asleep for 8 hours, you must be dehydrated. So the first thing you should do is drink water. It feels like you're doing this amazing thing for your body before your feet even hit the floor. But here's the big plot twist. What if this well-intentioned, super healthy habit is actually part of the problem? What if it's making you more tired? I know, that sounds completely backward, but just stick with me here. All right, let's get into the science of it, because this is where things get really interesting. To understand why plain old water might not be working its magic, we have to look past the idea of just drinking water and focus on how our bodies actually absorb it. It all comes down to something called cellular hydration.
And the real heroes of this whole story are electrolytes. You've heard the word 1,000 times, but what are they really? Well, simply put, they're just minerals, like sodium and potassium, that carry a tiny electric charge. And their job, in this case, is to act like little gatekeepers that pull water from your system into your cells, where all the magic happens.
You know, here's a great way to think about it. Picture all the cells in your body as trillions of tiny, rechargeable batteries. Water is the power, for sure, but the electrolytes, they're what allow the battery to actually hold that power. Without them, the water just can't get in to charge things up properly.
So let's put these two head to head. When you chug a big glass of plain water on an empty stomach, you can actually dilute the electrolytes your body already has. You're watering them down, so the water might just flush right through you without ever really hydrating you. But when you add a few electrolytes back in, you give your body the exact tools it needs to pull that water deep into your cells. And that's the difference between just drinking and actually hydrating.
So you start to see, right? The problem isn't the water itself, it's what's missing from the water. Real hydration isn't just about H2O, it's about balance.
And get this, here's a really cool number that puts it all in perspective. 0.9%. That's the salt concentration of your blood. Your body isn't made of pure water. It's basically a finely tuned saline solution. And when you gulp down a ton of plain water, you throw that delicate balance off, and your body has to work overtime to fix it.
Okay, so if chugging plain water isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the good news is the fix is unbelievably simple, and it literally takes like 30 seconds. Let's build your new morning ritual. And here it is, your new and improved morning hydration cocktail. It's just a glass of water, a small pinch of unrefined sea salt, that's for your sodium and other trace minerals, and a little squeeze of fresh lemon for some potassium and, flavor. Stir it up and drink that before anything else. That's it. That's the whole upgrade. And the benefits of this tiny little tweak are huge. We're talking about sustained energy without that classic mid-morning crash because your cells are actually hydrated. It helps everything from your nerves to your muscles function better. And honestly, it tastes pretty refreshing too.
So really, it's time to rethink what morning hydration is all about. The goal isn't to just flood your system with water, it's about fueling it intelligently. Look, if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this. True hydration isn't about how much you drink, it's about how much you absorb. By adding just a tiny pinch of minerals, you're turning that water from something that just passes through you into something that truly fuels you from the inside out. And that kind of brings us to a final, bigger thought. This whole morning water thing. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other healthy habits have we all just accepted as gospel without ever really looking at the science behind them? It's a great question to keep in your back pocket. Thanks for joining me on this one.